Mr. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What you're feeling these days on the green with the players? You see anxiety or you enjoy it?
Yes, I am enjoying a lot. I think I was thinking a lot before. I think my best period after 5 years. Today is 5 years that we signed a contract. 5 years ago we were signing here, and I think it's amazing period for us. I think the last 2 weeks we worked so hard, like Musa say, but we enjoy. We are enjoying a lot that preparation. I think we have ahead in front the best. I think one of the best games that you can play. I think in only the World Cup, the final of the World Cup, and now the Champions League are for me the two most important games that you can be involved. And of course, to be involved in next Saturday on the Champions League final is a privilege, and I think we are so lucky to have 3 weeks to prepare because we are enjoying every single day.
Okay, there's a question, Jonathan here.
Mauricio, after your first game at Tottenham, the West Ham game in 2014, you said that we have to change the mentality of Tottenham. Do you think you've done that, and how have you managed to do that?
No, I think when you will look back, I think all that transformation on the club, I think was one of the areas that to attack and to improve. But I think when you look backward, I think it's amazing improvement the club. First talking about facilities and then mentality and achieving good result and positive result to be on the final of the Champions League. It's massive achievement for this club. Working and of course developing a project that is completely different than another club that can achieve to be on a final of the Champions League.
Okay, question, Jonathan, sorry. Do you want to pass the microphone to David behind you? Thank you.
Mauricio, there's a lot of focus on your starting 11 and indeed the 18 that you're going to name. Is a part of you...
More than today 18, because we are going to have the possibility to have 12 on the bench.
Okay, fine. But
23.
23. I was going to say, so happily for you, you've got that. You always talk about the importance of the squad. But is it still very difficult for you, possibly your most difficult selection, to actually name that 11 this time?
No, I think it's not. Maybe for some people that love to talk, of course, they are so focused and try to put in my head, in myself, and try to live the experience and try to emphasize with me and say, oh, what a difficult job have Mauricio, because he need to select 11 players. But it's going to be painful, like it's painful the last game that we play against Everton or before. Every time that you are going to select 11 players, it's always is painful. Of course, it's the final of the Champions League, and it's going to be a decision to select 11 players. But in the way that we work, I'm going to be sure that we are going to take the best decision, always trying to be close to win, because that is the most important. And then I think we have all the information. It's not about to repeat and for you to get bored about my words, but always it's the same. In the last 2 weeks, we were spending 12 hours every day with our player. Who better than us to know in the level that they are and to select the 11 players that we believe that are going to performance in the best way to try to win. That, of course, is going to be after a decision. No right, no wrong, but it's going to be a decision. That is my job. That is my position. That, of course, is the possibility to play with 23. Of course, I wish and I hope that the rules should be different, in football. But the first, the player, and after you and our fans and us, we know very well that only can start 11. But maybe one player that from the bench can be decisive and can help to win the Champions League. And maybe it's the most important player is sitting from the beginning. That is why I told in the past, when I was a player, I remember when we played the final of Copa del Rey in Madrid, in the Bernabeu against Zaragoza. I was one of the captain of the team, and always I back or I try to put the idea in all this type of situation. The finals should be good to put the 23 or the 24 before the game with the picture, no? And then, of course, the player stay, that they're going to start the game, and another go to the bench, because, psychological, mental is difficult, because the player want to start, because in case to win, you are going to be in the wall, okay, the 11 player, but maybe one from the bench was more important. But after in the history, the 11 player that start, that is so unfair, and that the player care a lot. When I was a player care, and I think it should be a very good idea for Saturday, maybe Tottenham, I don't know Liverpool because it's not my problem, but for us to have the possibility before the game, the 23 inside to the pitch, take a picture, in case to win, the 23 on the wall we will be super heroes, but not only the 11,
Okay, question from Luis, and then you pass the microphone to the gentleman next to you. Thank you. No, the other side after.
Okay, perfect. My question, Mauricio. Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Good morning. Buenos días. Just my question is, which kind of lessons you have learned from the games against Liverpool this season? Because have been really tough, very spicy games. Which kind of lesson and which kind of aspect you have to correct in the team?
Like was telling before Musa, I think it's going to be a completely different game. We cannot prepare the game, the final of the Champions League, thinking in what happened a few months ago or 6 months ago. I think, of course, that when you play in a competition like the Premier League or Carabao Cup or FA Cup, the circumstances are completely different. That circumstance, of course, are the circumstance, because it's a competition that we never before we face each other, and of course it's going to be different. That is why our focus is in ourselves, and to prepare and be ready to do what we need to do. And I don't care if it is one or another opponent in front. Of course, in this case, it's a team that we know very well, like they know us very well, but that is not. We didn't prepare the game thinking in the game that we play there or on Wembley or in Anfield. It's going to be Madrid, it's going to be the Champions League. The circumstances are completely different. I think it's a massive mistake if we are preparing the game in the way that, because in some circumstances we play on the past in different competition.
Okay, gentleman there, yeah.
Yeah, hi, I'm Mauricio. With all this time to prepare, and the game will be the biggest in the careers of many of your players, how do you control the mindset and like the emotions of the player in the weeks up to the match?
Yes, of course. That is one of the areas that I think maybe we work the most. We prepare some strategy to work in this area, like tactical or physical, but it's true that if we spend more time to prepare physical or tactical, the team is more mental, and we design some strategy to work every single day about that. Because football is, and then on a final, football is a context of emotion, and you know very well after 5 years that I am telling you the same, but the final is going to be decisive, not a battle in between Klopp and Pochettino or tactical battle. It's going to be about the emotion, and it's going to be the emotion. If who is going to manage better and deal better with the emotional area, I think it's going to be close to win.
Okay, this gentleman there. Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Ciao, buongiorno.
Ciao.
In Italy, we speak a lot about your future. Can you explain if your future is 100% here, or there is a possibility to see you in Serie A?
Look, today I think no one is more important than the game that we have ahead. I think Tottenham deserve that we are all 100, 200 focusing to prepare in the best way the game. I think we can make history, we can write our history, we can provide our fans and our people, I think, and our family, of course, the best happiness in football that you can provide. And I think today to talk about individual things is a little bit embarrassing and a shame, because, you know, I think I am not important. I am not important. What happened in the future with me, I think we have ahead a bigger things to think. I think to play at a final of Champions League, I think to play with all the emotions that generate this competition and this type of situation, I think I am nothing to worry about. You know, I am not important at more than the Champions League or the possibility to win a trophy or the club. You know, of course, rumor and are there. And of course, you are going to ask me, about different players. But today, I think the focus is 200% in the final. And of course, after the final, we are going to have time to talk. But, you know, today my commitment with Tottenham is 200%.
Okay, question from Matt down here.
Harry Kane. I know you don't like team news questions, but we wouldn't be a Spurs press conference if we didn't mention him. Spurs fans are dying to know, how is he getting on? Is he going to travel and be part of the squad to give him as much chance as possible? And if he is close, will you start with him to see how much you can get from him? Or will you keep him on the bench?
Yes, I like that you asked me today, because it's the right time to ask me. No after Ajax or, you know, in different circumstances. I think Harry Kane is, in the last week, Friday, Saturday, start to be involved with the group. It's very positive, the situation of him. We have 1 week ahead until Saturday to evaluate and to see how he's progressing in his problem. But of course, like I told in the past, it's so important that he feel well, and it's very positive. We'll see what happens. Still, I cannot tell you he's going to be fit 100%. He's going to be available to play from the beginning, or be on the bench, or maybe out. But we are so positive and happy in the progression, like Sean Vertonghen or Harry Winks and Patron, Davinson Sanchez, that are in the same process. The 4 players start Friday and Saturday to be involved with the group. That make for everyone very positive to be maybe available on the weekend, and that is very good news for us.
Okay, I said we were aiming for 1:30 finish. We've got time for 3 more. Paul here. We've got one down here, then one with this gentleman here. Paul.
Hi, hello.
If Harry is fit to start, what will be your thought process in making that decision between him and the players who got you to this final?
You want to know too much. Yes, but I give you like this, and you want like this, and this, and you know, you go around the same question. You know, football is about collective. Football is about team. It's a spirit. It's about the belief, the faith. And look how we arrived to the final. When Harry got injured, was 0-0 again, quarter-final against Manchester City, and look all that happened. We got the top 4 on the end, and one of the more fantastic, and he wasn't involved. That doesn't mean that he's not one of the best player that on the team. And for me, he's one of the best striker on the world, in the top 3. But look the circumstance. You know, it's so important always the spirit. Football is a collective sport. With one or another, we need to believe that we can beat our opponent. Is this Harry Kane? Better. Is he available? Better to help the team. But thinking always that Harry Kane is a piece that is going to help the team. It's not him and the rest of the team. It's like happened with different players on the world, you know. But he's so humble, and he's very normal people. Of course, he's one of our star, and he's ready. The first that I am going to be more than happy, me. But we need to evaluate, and we need to take the right decision. And of course, like always, we prioritize the team. And of course, don't worry that we are going to take a decision, the best decision to try to win.
Okay, take a question from down here.
This was the same question as Sissoko, but after the semi-final against Ajax, we saw how emotional you were at that moment. After the final, if you do win, how do you think personally you want to celebrate, like with the team afterwards?
Yes, I don't know, because I am very spontaneous and I never prepare. I am not an actor. You know, I am a normal people in front of you. I don't know, I'm going to express like I will happen what happened is going to be very natural and a spontaneous reaction. That is the most important. Of course, at the moment we are enjoying the preparation, and for me it's difficult to put in case we something happen, because I think the most important now, my focus and my dream is to provide the team the best platform to performance Saturday. But you know, we'll see what happens. Maybe I am so relaxed. Maybe I cry. Maybe I don't know. Maybe jump. Maybe, you know, it's difficult to know. I prefer to stay relaxed now and be focused. Being focused, and of course what happen after, we are going to react, depend of the moment and the circumstance.
Okay, we'll take the last question from this gentleman here. Yeah.
Hi. Good afternoon. VD Sport from China, and 2 games in the Premier League against Liverpool. Tottenham has lost all of them, 1-2, and is this a disadvantage for Tottenham, or as well helpful for preparation?
No, like I told before, another question. I think we cannot prepare the game, the final of the Champions League, thinking in what happened on the Premier League. The circumstances were completely different, and now it's going to be different. It's different competition. It's not in England. It's not in Anfield. It's not in Wembley that we play, and I think all understand that it's going to be a complete different game. And you cannot, of course, we know very well each other, and the concept and different things that we know. We are not going to change because we had 3 weeks to prepare, and we are going to play in a different way. Like Liverpool is not going to prepare the game or to play in different way. We are going to keep our principle. But I think the circumstances are completely different, and it's going to be, I think from the beginning, the emotional area is going to be the key. Is how we are going to manage and deal with this area is going to be one of the key of the game.